This oud fragrance costs 30 euros, while this one 300. Which one is better? Let's find that out. Wait a minute, obviously the more expensive one, Terence Hughes Oud, smells much better than the cheapy Oud Touch by Frank Olivier. The real question is, which one is better value? Let's find that out. I got a squirt. So the difference that I can immediately spot is that Frank Olivier's fragrance smells much stronger than Terence Hughes. Oud Touch smells woody, leathery, deeply bitter. Definitely reminds me of an actual oud, and it has some floral aspects. It's quite sweet actually, but at the same time very much in the base bitter. And it just smells like a great fragrance, period. Even disregarding the price point, to be honest. Meanwhile, Oud by Terence Hughes, it smells much more mild. The strength here is like a 6 out of 10, while for Frank Olivier it's like an 8 out of 10, maybe even 9. And it smells kind of oudi, slightly rosy, same with this. Oud by Terence Hughes has a bit of a tobacco-like feel, slightly patchouli-esque, earthy feel to it as well. Quite sophisticated, refined, kind of understated, I would say, at this point in time. Immediate impression. While Frank Olivier's fragrance is loud, strong, puts it out there. At this stage, Frank Olivier wins it for me. The strength for Oud Touch is 8 out of 10, while for Oud it's 6 out of 10. The uniqueness is roughly the same, 8 out of 10, and pleasantness for both of them is also 8. In the opening, about 15 minutes in, Oud Touch is still going strong. It's 8 out of 10, strength-wise. Gives off a bit of a bitter almond vibe, benzaldehyde, which I quite enjoy. Still rosy, still woody, still bitter. In the meantime, Terence Hughes starts to pick up pace too. It starts to get slightly more strong, 7 out of 10. It does have this clean vibe with oudiness, with earthiness, with slight smokiness. Again, quite nuanced, kind of understated, but at the same time I start to pick up this signature Terence Hughes musk accord. I absolutely love it, and most of his fragrances actually do have this accord, so this is no exception. So at this stage the strength for Frank Olivier is 8 out of 10, for Terence Hughes it's 7 out of 10, has gone up a bit. The uniqueness for both of them is still 8 out of 10, and the pleasantness has gone quite a bit for Terence Hughes. It's a 9 out of 10, while for Frank Olivier it's still an 8 out of 10. In the heart, about an hour into this scent, is where I start to notice the biggest differences between these fragrances, because previously they smelled around 70% similar to each other. Both are oudi, rosy fragrances. At this point, Oud Touch starts to slightly fade away. I can smell some of that ethyl maltol, some of those base molecules in there. The strength has gone down about to 7 out of 10. The likability also, and the uniqueness, it starts to suffer too. It's also a 7 out of 10. But Oud by Terence Hughes, it just continues to ramp up. The strength goes to 8 out of 10. Likability, 9 out of 10. I love it. Uniqueness, you know, it's an Oud Rose combo. What much can you say about it? 8 out of 10. Most of the qualities that it had just continue to bloom, to evolve, to become more intense and more likable. At the dry down, about 5 to 8 hours into it, Oud Touch, it smells kind of faded. Strength is 4 out of 10 to me. The woodiness, it has gone down quite a bit. It's kind of sour. It is slightly sweet, but the idea of it, I feel like it's kind of diluted. It doesn't quite capture the glory of how it smelled at the initial few minutes. Meanwhile, Oud by Terence Hughes, it just continues delivering. It's a 6 out of 10 strength-wise, so basically the same as it was initially, but it smells nuanced, nice, kind of high quality. I absolutely love how the smokiness, oudiness, earthiness, and rose, all of them kind of mixed together to create this sophisticated feel that I absolutely love. And in fact, my girlfriend massively preferred Oud to Oud Touch without knowing the price point at the time. And I'll say even more, she described Oud Touch as smelling like old blood, like blood that's going off in a way, it's going sour, which is odd to me. I completely disagree with that assessment, but to her, that's how it smelled. It is still quite pleasant, to me at least. Pleasantness is like a 7 out of 10. For Aaron Terence Hughes, it's an 8 out of 10. But there is quite a stark difference. Frank Olivier's fragrance, it does start to smell kind of old. Well, Aaron Terence Hughes one, it smells confident, subtle, but modern. In the deep dry down, about 12 hours into it, Frank Olivier's scent has basically just evaporated. Strength-wise, it's a 1 to 2 out of 10. And you know, it's fine. It's good. It costs 30 bucks, right? Not much more. While Aaron Terence Hughes, it just continues on delivering. Strength-wise, it's a 5 out of 10. It just goes on. Still this rosy, oody, earthy, smoky scent. And I'll tell you even more. I reviewed these scents about a week ago, and Aaron Terence Hughes Oud, it attached itself to the clothes I wore back then. And even today, when I was wearing the same suit, the same scent has stayed there. It's still lingering on the suit, and it's just amazing to me how long the scent lasts. So the final verdict for me is that Oud Touch, it does deliver more value for the price than Oud by Aaron Terence Hughes. It's just simply not 10 times better than Oud Touch. They smell roughly the same for the first couple of hours. The difference maker here is obviously if you have more money or if you want a signature scent. Because if you really want an Oud and Rose combo as your signature, I would 100% recommend Aaron Terence Hughes scent over Frank Olivier's. The reason is Aaron Terence Hughes scent will permeate all of your clothes. It will be just like an aura around you. People will remember you based on this scent. While for Oud Touch, it's a lot more volatile, it evaporates a lot more, and it's just kind of a spray it and then forget it type of a scent. It does last quite a bit for a cheapie, right? It does have a noticeably cheaper feel to it, and that's fine. And at this price point, it's actually really, really good. In fact, let's go to the rankings.
Rank-wise, Oud Touch by Frank Olivier. It is very much excellent, especially if I take into account the price point. I think it would fit somewhere underneath Terre d'Hermès. It is an excellent fragrance, while Aaron Terence Hughes Oud, I don't really count as owning it, so 2 milliliters is just not enough.
By the way, if you're interested in more scents by Aaron Terence Hughes, here is Neon by Aaron Terence Hughes.